This is the Television Enthusiast Podcast, the weekly set. Episode 18, recorded July 2nd, 2015. Hello and welcome to the TV Enthusiast Podcast, the weekly set. I am your host, Tyson. Joining me today are Will.
Hello.
And Kat.
Hi.
Today we're just going to be kind of doing a general, no major topic. We're just going to kind of go over what we've been watching, kind of just different things going on TV, maybe kind of what we have coming up for the site, stuff like that. Just kind of general, what's been going on topics. So, let's just start off with talking about, what we've been watching for the last couple weeks. Last time we did a podcast, I had mentioned that, I had been watching Sense8 and had really been enjoying it. I have now completed Sense8. I finished it, and, despite the ending being a little bit off, because, there's gonna be another season, so I'm not too worried about it on that side, but I really enjoyed it up through the end. What have you guys been watching?
I'm still on the same. I've been trying to catch up with iZombie. Let's see. What else was I thinking of? Oh, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Somehow I stalled on that one, I think, just due to time. And Dark Matter, actually. I mean, I know it's only a week at a time, but I actually really enjoyed that enough that I think I'm gonna keep watching for the season.
Are you up to date on Dark Matter?
I am. I've watched all 3 episodes.
I like the twist at the end of the 3rd episode.
Yeah, like the moment they had the scene, I actually guessed. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a copy of one. It's gonna be another version of one. But I still like it all the same, because it does raise a lot of questions. Yeah,
I'm just happy to see that, I thought that they were gonna drag out this whole kind of they're on this singular kind of mission kind of thing for too long, and they quickly, on the 2nd episode, already got through that first part. And I like the idea they're going to be docking at a space station. Just these different kind of things. I'm happy to see happening, I'm happy to see it progressing quickly.
It's already clipping along at a really good pace, which I think is part of what's made it compelling to me. And it's, I'm more kind of engaged and interested by the world and characters than I was by Killjoys. And so I think I'm in for the season. I'll totally watch the whole thing and see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to just have a fun, sci-fi show on again,
Yeah.
It's
for
not,
sure.
it's obviously this isn't, Firefly or BSG, tier type stuff going on here, but it's just nice and it's fun. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be.
It's just nice and fun. We haven't had something like this in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm having fun with it. And I also figured out, man, I have seen people online who are like, iZombie is just so great. And I watched the second to last episode and got really exasperated by the ending, because I was like, so you had all these potential plot progression points, whatever, that you could make, and you waited until the second to last episode to make them. And in the meanwhile, we solved a lot of murders. That really frustrates me, because it felt like the whole season, it was just spinning its wheels, not really doing anything, and it knew what plot progressions it could make, but it intentionally held off, and all the filler material was just this really redundant procedural stuff. So I guess I think the show is fine. I don't hate it, but I kind of don't get the hype for it either.
That's the problem with just shows that have to run this long, that are trying to kind of have kind of a more interesting serialized plot, is that they often end up having to do that, where they kind of set up some interesting events here and there, and then they kind of go to the back burner. And then, they'll kind of resurface every so often, and then usually the last 2 or 3 episodes, everything kind of comes back up. It's unfortunate, it happened with Veronica Mars, it happened with, it just seems like...
Veronica Mars made the in-between material really compelling, and it was really good at... It was really good at progressing the longer arc in really interesting ways. Whereas I feel like this show, the characters are so underdeveloped, and it takes almost no time on them, that I guess for that reason alone, I sincerely don't get the hype.
I also feel like the case of the week stuff in iZombie is not compelling. Like, the actual cases that she does are kind of like the weak point of the show itself, because there's nothing like unique or compelling about them.
I think that's where the difference is between this and Veronica Mars, where Veronica Mars had a strength. Because Veronica Mars, at least in its first 2 seasons, which were, of course, the best of the series, it all kind of took place in this high school, and all of these kind of crimes were kind of related to these students in this high school. And so you kind of had this closer boundary, whereas with her kind of helping out with a police officer, it's like the coverage zone is in an entire city. And so you kind of get like people that pop up that are kind of irrelevant the next episode. You're not kind of getting the same old characters again and again, showing up and having it affect people in that same way. So
yeah, and the fact that all they're doing is solving murders. Like they had Veronica doing stuff that I think it furthered her relationship with her classmates. It continued to kind of enhance the weird reputation that she was gaining in the school, and it meant that she was doing more interesting things than "and whose murder are we solving this week?" which is the basic premise of 20 other crime shows on television. So I guess in that way, Veronica Mars really stood out, whereas iZombie, I feel like it's just humdrum standard case of the week stuff.
So that's the thing, though, is I think I agree with you on that front, and I don't think iZombie is as good as Veronica Mars, but I still really like iZombie just because I like Rob Thomas's writing, and I like the way that the characters phrase things and stuff. So it's almost, I guess, maybe like a kind of comfort food for me, I guess.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
And it does, you're seeing some of the development now. You still have, 1 episode left?
Yeah, the season finale. So, maybe my feelings will change after that. I don't know. But, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they pick up in the second season, because the show's been kind of successful, so I always feel like Rob Thomas is always kind of hanging under this cloud of like, we're going to be canceled at any minute,
Yeah.
And I wonder if, the relative success of the series going into a second season is going to change the way he paces things out.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see.
I have a bad feeling that iZombie, like Gotham, is going to be the show I drop.
Oh, iZombie, like Gotham? You still watching Sleepy Hollow, though?
Sorry, my internet just cut out. Are you talking to me or Will?
You right now.
Oh, okay. I gave up on Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. That was gotta be one of the worst sophomore seasons in recent memory.
That show should have been 1 season.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have paced a lot better. Just a real kind of high concept 1 season thing.
Yes, I'm glad they didn't get into that. I've been using the downtime to catch up on S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yes.
Yep, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We need to clarify that, just so they don't think you're watching the old,
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought at first
series from
when
FX.
you said that.
No, yeah, okay, so, yeah, I've been catching up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think I'm now on episode 16? Yes.
Okay. So you're not where Bill Paxton showed up yet, or are you?
No, I'm past where Bill Paxton showed up. I actually just started the second episode Bill Paxton shows up in.
Okay.
And I gotta say, it's starting to get a lot more interesting now than it was at the beginning.
That's around the point when I mark it. Like I say, that's kind of when, the plot line starts kind of developing a little bit more and it picks up, and then, Kat will tell you second season is where everything kind of picks up.
Definitely.
But
I think first season takes a drastic improvement around the time Bill Paxton shows up.
Yeah, it's starting to get a lot better. I like that the characters are starting to get more fleshed out now. They're starting to pay more attention to them. Especially Ming-Na Wen's character.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're getting deeper into, the mystery of what happened with Coulson and how he came back from the dead, how they brought him back. And that's been interesting. And another thing that they're finally starting to do, which is they're finally starting to take advantage of the fact that this is set in the Marvel universe. And they're starting to put some Marvel references into it. Like, instead just like, generic guy who can control fire, or something. It's like actual Marvel characters and stuff from the comics. So like, we got Deathlock now, which came about by way of the guy from the first episode, strangely enough.
Yeah. Gun from Angel.
Gun from Angel. Which is interesting. I mean, I knew he was gonna be back. I knew he was gonna pop back up the whole time just because of the actor and his association with Joss Whedon. I'm like,
yeah, and just say he's not really doing anything right now.
Yeah, and the fact that he's not really doing anything right now, I'm like, yeah, they aren't gonna like have him be a one and done. He's gonna come back, and he did come back, and weird things happened, and he became Deathlock in some bizarre roundabout way. But yeah, that totally happened. That's kind of cool, and they also had a big episode where they had the Asgardian Lorelei, and Lady Sif from Thor, show up, and I thought that was cool. I thought, okay, and they showed. Well, a lot of speculation says that they showed an Inhuman, which was the blue creature.
Also, I just want to quickly comment on that episode. A great little Easter egg in that episode is, if I remember correctly, Sif says that Odin sent her, but if you've seen Thor: The Dark World, you know that Odin isn't really Odin.
That's right, Odin is Loki, so Loki sent her.
Yeah.
You're right.
There's that little thing that, the blue thing you're talking about is not a, Inhuman. I'll clear that up. There is, we've obviously talked on the show before about how there are Inhuman related things. Right. The blue guy's a Kree.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which they don't really discuss that openly. It's not like a big plot point or something so much,
I guess they're expecting you to watch Guardians of the Galaxy and make the connection from there. Even though it's...
keep watching and you'll start to understand the relevance. More of it comes, I'd say, into importance in second season, but keep watching and you'll, I think, they do explain the Kree and stuff, but not in first season.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's still kind of a hanging mystery, but it's not that big of a deal. The deal is more, it's not that big of a deal what it is, it's more big of a deal of like, its purpose and stuff, So I won't spoil that part, but just what it is isn't a big deal.
Okay. So just what it is, but its purpose is a big deal. And now Coulson is looking for Nick Fury. Where I left off today, because I had to quit out the middle of the second episode with Bill Paxton. Mm-hmm. Where it was getting interesting because I got to the point where, the one agent there from Captain America Winter Soldier, who turns out to be a Hydra spy in that movie, he's actually gets called onto the boat where he shows up at the beginning of Captain America. And so I'm like, this is happening.
You're getting that tie-in already, yeah.
You are getting that tie-in. I'm just sad that you couldn't have experienced it in real time, because I got the chance to experience it in real time where I watched the episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I went and saw Captain America on opening day, and then I went and saw the next one, and it was a blast seeing how that all played out.
That's one of the great
really?
things
That's
they're
awesome.
capable of doing now, especially with Marvel putting out, 4 movies a year?
4 movies a year. Though, I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil too much for Will, but I think the Age of Ultron didn't work nearly as well, but I'm kind of okay that it didn't.
Yeah. It didn't have as much of a big deal
I
on
was
it, yeah.
kind of wondering, how they would, tie Age of Ultron into, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anyway.
Yeah.
It's light. It's a light tie-in. I think a bigger tie-in's probably gonna happen with Civil War.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it won't. It has to.
Well,
Yeah.
I saw, a promo image. Apparently they're gonna introduce Secret Warriors in Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently, Secret Warriors is, Nick Fury's, elite team of superpowered S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that he puts together. So that's probably gonna tie into Civil War in a big way, I would imagine.
Yeah. And they've already talked, is it Kevin Feige? I always forget his name.
Kevin Feige, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Feige's already mentioned about how there's going to be TV actors from some of the different TV shows showing up in the movies eventually.
Oh,
and
cool.
the big rumor is that it's going to be, less about S.H.I.E.L.D., probably more like the Defenders. Showing up in, what's the one, in the next Avengers, Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah, I think Infinity War is pretty much going to have everyone in it.
Of course, we need more people for Thanos' body count.
It'll, on the credits, it'll say cast, and it'll just have an infinity symbol underneath it.
Okay, but they don't want to overwhelm audiences. I mean, that was a criticism from critics for Age of Ultron, and it is fair, is that there are an awful lot of characters in that movie. And
yeah, but they got 2 movies this time to work with.
Yeah.
They got 2 movies to work with Infinity War, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I don't know if they're worried about overwhelming audiences with this, considering the cast for Captain America Civil War, which is everybody ever. It's
that's Avengers 2.5 is what I've been hearing it described as.
Let's see, who's in the new Captain America? Let's see, there's Spider-Man, Black Widow, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man.
Black Panther, right?
Black Panther.
Yep. Ant-Man, Agent 13, Sharon Carter, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Vision, Black Panther, War Machine. Yeah, they just threw everybody in this movie. I mean, even Ant-Man's in this. So.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crowded.
Yeah, it's gonna be crowded, yeah. So I don't know if Marvel's concerned about that.
I hear that Ant-Man again has the 2 post-credit scenes again, where recently they've been cutting it down to 1.
Yeah.
Or kind of less necessary ones, So there's supposed to be 2, and there's supposed to be a big tease for kind of the next direction.
I guess because it's the last film of Phase 2, that's why, I'm guessing.
Okay, while we're in the subject of the MCU and bringing it back to television, I have been reading that they confirmed James Darcy, and I cannot pronounce his name to save my life, but it's the guy from Dollhouse. Enver, whatever, that he has 3 J's in his last name. Anyway, they've been confirmed for a 2nd season of Agent Carter, which makes me incredibly happy because Agent Carter's best asset was everything to do with Peggy and Jarvis.
Oh, definitely. I'm delighted that he's going to be back. I'm not going to say I'm surprised. I figured, why not bring him back?
I also like Enver. I think he was probably the best part of Dollhouse.
Okay.
Of course, that's not saying a lot.
I don't know. I don't remember much about Dollhouse because I watched half of the first season and I kind of okay, this isn't really doing anything for me.
He and the one Asian girl that was in that's in the 100 now. I'm trying to, or was in the 100.
She was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season.
Yeah. Sky's mom,
I'm gonna say her name incorrectly, but it looks like Dyken Lakin to me, but I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I've never actually heard it pronounced out loud.
Yeah, her and Enver, I believe, were the best parts of Dollhouse. Like, their kind of storyline and kind of, like, just their characters and just them in general were the best parts of Dollhouse.
Right.
So, I'm always happy to see more of them involved in anything. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited for, season 2 of Agent Carter. And it's like, that's definitely going to be very cool.
And of course, they've been talking about season 2 of Daredevil as well, and how that's pretty much, I guess, that one of the current showrunners for season 2, not Stephen S. Tonight, who's not going to be running the second season, referred to season 2 of Daredevil as like Daredevil versus Punisher.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yep.
Yep, I saw that, which is kind of obvious when they announced the Punisher. It was, I mean, I don't think anybody inferred that Punisher and Daredevil were going to be the best of friends. I mean, I kind of already figured that. I don't know if it's going to be like as simplistic as something like Daredevil versus the Punisher.
I mean, it's the same thing like Batman versus Superman. Obviously, It's not going to just be them fighting the whole time, you know?
No, I think there's going to be layers there. I think there's going to be multiple layers. There's going to be other things in play, too, in the season. I think just calling it Daredevil versus the Punisher, though, is just to drum up the hype and to get, an easy way to drive up buzz.
I think it's just to kind of point out that the Punisher is going to be an integral character, and it's not just like some kind of weird background element or something.
Oh yeah, like he's not going to show up in like for 3 episodes or something and be like, or just be teased throughout the season. He is going to be central to the season, which is, I'm excited. I'm super excited for this because this is what I wanted out of Daredevil season 2 after seeing the first season.
And, we got Jessica Jones is still slated for this year.
Yeah.
No specific on when. I imagine we might find out about that at Comic-Con. That might be a good time to announce.
Except that Marvel isn't going to be at Comic-Con.
Yeah, Marvel isn't going to be there.
Even so, I bet you they'll still do something as far as like press releases or something. They're just not doing events.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think probably somewhere around there they'll release some information about that.
I think it's getting to be time they start talking about, that show, unless it's slipped into 2016. Because, it's been awfully quiet on that front. They've been talking more about Daredevil season 2 than they have been about Jessica Jones.
And surprisingly so.
I think we're nearing the point when we're going to start getting a bit of a blowout on Jessica Jones. Might get a trailer soon, some, artwork and stuff. Maybe if Marvel not going to be there. I don't know. Is it Marvel as an entirety that's not going to be there? Or is it Marvel because they kind of count separate parts? Is it Marvel?
You mean Marvel the comics versus the MCU? Because I'm pretty sure I don't know about the comics, but I'm pretty sure the MCU, at the very least, has been like, we're just not going to have a presence at Comic-Con this year. Probably because they know people are going to go see their movies anyway.
I was told Marvel as a whole, as an entity, is not going to be at Comic-Con in any form.
What's interesting is that Ant-Man opens up like the next week, doesn't it? Right after Comic-Con?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It opens
That's
up
right.
Really soon.
So it's interesting that, they don't have a presence there. You think that would be like, they've even screened movies, a couple weeks before they've come out or something. So I was kind of expecting that was going to happen.
Yeah. Like, they've already screened Ant-Man for the critics. That's already happened.
Yeah, but for fans. Usually at they do that a lot of times at Comic-Con, where if they're a few weeks out, they'll just straight up screen the movie at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I guess that's not happening now. Because they're not going to be there. For whatever reason. I don't even know why the heck Marvel's skipping Comic-Con. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. But they
A few companies are, I guess. Maybe it's just getting too packed. Maybe they're going to like start doing New York Comic-Con or something.
Oh, maybe.
I wouldn't mind if they started spreading out and doing more stuff at other cons. I think that'd be cool.
I can tell you how packed Comic-Con is because I got invited to NBC's Comic-Con party and I RSVP'd, so I'm on the list now. I'm going to the party.
Ooh,
and
awesome.
In order to go there and do all this, I had to, book a motel room or something because it's in the same state as me, but I can't obviously do it all in one night. It's like 2.5 hours at least drive, So I'm like, I need to stay at least one night over, if I'm gonna do this. And the closest hotel I can find is 5 miles from the convention center. Every other one is completely booked.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Just completely, yeah. And I'm saying like even the pricey rooms, everything's booked.
Yikes.
So yeah, and then there is the one that's like 5 miles away that I ended up getting into, and a few others that are around the same distance. And some of those are like $700 a night for them. It's like ridiculous.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's packed, and they're not selling tickets anymore. So even though I'm going to Comic-Con for this party, I'm not actually going to Comic-Con because I can't get a pass because they're sold out. So.
I'm not surprised.
Which, if you've ever been to San Diego Convention Center, that place is massive. So
that might be an advantage if they started doing, if some of the companies started putting more emphasis on other venues than San Diego Comic-Con, that more people can attend.
Yeah,
I think for
just
that
because
reason
they'd
alone,
be able to have their presence spread out.
Yeah, and I don't know that I'll ever have an opportunity to attend San Diego Comic-Con because it sounds like it's just so hard.
I mean, given I got that invite too, like, given the fact that I'm on the opposite side of the country, and all the trouble Tyson had to go through, and he's only 2 hours away from it, it's like, yeah, that wasn't happening for me.
Wait, you're not gonna just teleport well?
No.
You just afraid that the man's gonna find out about your powers?
Yes. The man's gonna find out about my
Shield's
powers.
gonna be tracking you?
Yeah, I don't want S.H.I.E.L.D. tracking me. I want them on my case.
They always getting in my business.
Yeah, I know. Right?
So that's Comic-Con is going to be kind of it'll be exciting. I honestly think, even without Marvel's presence there, it seems to me that Comic-Con is now more about TV shows than it is about movies. Of course, it hasn't been about comic books for years.
No. God forbid Comic-Con be about comic books.
But kind of looking at the schedule of kind of events and stuff, it just seems like the TV presence is much bigger than the movie presence is now. I think once we started getting, I think it started with shows like Lost that had huge Comic-Con presences alongside the movies, but I think in the last couple of years now it's like there's shows that have Comic-Con booths and stuff, or Comic-Con presence now that like have no place there. Like romantic comedies like Comic-Con, presentation.
Oh yeah.
It's just become a kind of, hey, we're gonna come advertise our movie and see if people will go see it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's getting kind of ridiculous with that, but it seems to me that like this year, probably for the first time, TV is really dominant over movies at Comic-Con's presence. So, we should have a lot of coverage.
We should.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I won't be able to go to any of those events because I can't get into Comic-Con, but I will be going to a party where I might be able to talk to some people. So my goal is to meet Brian Fuller. Yeah, that's my goal. That's
awesome.
That's the goal I'm setting for myself. I want to hand out a bunch of business cards, and I want to meet Brian Fuller.
Oh man,
Jamie Alexander would be cool too. She's got a new show going at NBC, so she should be there.
Oh, that's
and Zachary
cool.
Levi.
That is really, yeah, I know. I'm like super jealous I can't go to that, but
I want to kind of I was thinking, like, if I talked to Jamie Alexander, what would I bring up? And I'd say, isn't it weird that, like, almost everybody heading up an NBC show now is, like, in the MCU?
Yeah.
Because you have, like, James Spader with the Blacklist, Zachary Levi and Heroes Reborn, and
these days. Who isn't a part of the MCU these
days?
I mean, that's not exclusive to NBC
MCU with actors in general is like 5 years ago when it was, British actors in Harry Potter. Like, who's British, an actor, and not in Harry Potter.
And I swear they're hiring up every single prolific British actor. I mean, they have David Tennant, Benedict Cumberbatch, Christopher Eccleston, Tom Hiddleston, like, practically every British actor you can name. And if they aren't in the MCU, they're probably in the X-Men films.
Go watch Sherlock and realize that Sherlock and Watson are both in the MCU now.
That's right. Martin Freeman is in Civil War too, but we don't know who he's playing.
Yeah, Martin Freeman is a mystery role in Civil War. I don't know who the hell he's playing because...
Well, they just said mystery role.
No, yeah, mystery. He's Galactus.
I am mystery role.
He's Galactus in Civil War or something. A lot of people were saying, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Martin Freeman was like, Doctor Strange's, like, servant from, like, the comic books. Just so they could have Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch together again.
But they already did that with the Hobbits.
Yeah, they already did that with the Hobbits, so, I mean, I don't...
They can keep having reunions in all their movies.
Yeah, right?
I just don't know why Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't in, Fargo.
I know, right?
He's too busy getting ready for Doctor Strange.
They just go to casting interviews together.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter which one's being casted, they just go together.
They're not Doctor Strange, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But,
that's...
I'm interested to see who Martin Freeman is playing.
He's playing mystery role.
Yeah, mystery role. He's Galactus.
So, yeah, besides kind of what we've been watching, for the most part, and the kind of Comic-Con news that's been coming up, there isn't a lot going on with TV. We have the last kind of the summer shows have been kind of popping up. Scream just aired a couple days back. I haven't watched it. Have you watched it yet?
No, that aired?
Yeah, the pilot episode of Scream. So, there's actually a funny bit on Conan, where he does a thing where, like, they hit the info button on the TV and get, like, more information about a show, and it's always, like, some kind of a joke. And the one with Scream, they said, Scream was on, the Scream TV series. I hit the info button, it said, I scream, you scream, we all scream for, why are they making this?
I saw a teaser, it was like the first 10 minutes or something, it was something stupid, and yeah, it was dumb. It did not capture, it tried to be like the movies, but it did not capture, like, I don't think it did a good job capturing, like, the films at all. No, I don't know, I was like, this is just unnecessary and not anything I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it just because I'm trying to kind of watch all the big 2015 shows before an article I'm writing that's about kind of like the first half of 2015, and I figure, well, I gotta watch it, so I gotta watch that and watch a few other ones that I kind of passed on at the time that I'm gonna at least watch one episode of just to kind of get an idea as part of my research. So I'm suffering through Scream for our readers.
Ouch.
Who knows? It could end up being my favorite show. I seriously doubt it, but it could be.
Maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise.
Maybe it'll be like another Teen Wolf situation. I don't know.
Yeah, Teen Wolf's kind of interesting just because it was such a comedy movie. It had nothing to do with what they ended up turning the show into. And the show's kind of like hit or miss. It's weird. Like, it does certain things really well, and then other things it does not at all.
Oh, okay. I haven't actually watched it. It's just that, from what I've heard, it's supposed to actually be good. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's hit or miss. There's certain things that I'm kind of surprised at how well it did, and there's certain things that, I'm kind of surprised at how poorly it did.
Because I would never, like, willingly go out of my way to watch a serious drama called Teen Wolf.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a documentary about Michael J. Fox and his first, like, troubles with with his illness and stuff, and how they happened on the set of Teen Wolf or something.
Yeah, right.
Teen Wolf in name only.
Oh my word! Really? I know.
Like,
so
this is fascinating
happening.
television.
I think what looks more interesting, if you're gonna watch Scream, you're probably better off just watching Ryan Murphy's Scream Queens in the fall.
I'll definitely be checking that out too, just to compare it to American Horror Story and kind of what's going on with that, and all the different anthology shows that have been kicking up.
Yeah,
because we have that American Crime Story one coming up too. That's got that's doing like the O.J. Simpson trial or whatever with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, are they really doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Such enthusiasm. Are they really doing that?
Yeah. I just don't think
it's all American Crime Story. It's all Will Roehrig from TV Enthusiast says, are they really doing that?
I just think that was one of the most sensationalistic cases of the 90s. And I don't know if there's anything inherently interesting about it that hasn't been, like, gone over, like, a million times by the media.
I wonder if they're going to fictionalize it, like, heavily.
Probably.
Because that could be kind of interesting if they did that. If they just kind of made it out to be like, this is going to be the O.J. Simpson trial, and then they, like, did some, like, really just off-the-wall stuff with it, you know?
I think if they based it off the book O.J. wrote, in which he explained how he didn't do it and how somebody else did it, that might be funny. I don't know.
I think it would be cool if they did it like, where instead of like just killing Nicole and God, I can't remember the guy's name.
Ron Goldman, I think.
Yeah, Ron. Instead of Nicole and Ron, like that, he was actually like a serial killer or something.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like off the wall kind of twist like that or something.
Just merge it with Scream. The killer
or
is
American
OJ.
Horror Story. Make it like, Hannibal Lecter shows up.
OJ the whole time.
Everything has to be an interconnected universe these days.
Oh yeah.
The SKU, the serial killer universe.
Yeah.
Oh,
good Lord.
So let's talk about what we have coming up this week.
Okay.
And then we'll end off kind of a bit early because we just don't have a lot to talk about this week.
It really isn't.
I think there's going to be a lot to
happened.
talk about next week. Not necessarily by the time we do a podcast, but after that. But usually before a big event, whatever that big event covering, whatever kind of form of media that big event covers will be kind of dead like the couple weeks before. And like it is with video games with E3, and now it's going to be with TV shows with Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So
there's one thing I did want to mention that came out. I don't know if you've heard, but apparently the cast for Hannibal has been released from their contracts.
Aww.
Yep. So it doesn't look
sad.
like it's coming back.
There's that, but then I've also heard that there's been a bidding war going on between Amazon and Hulu.
Right.
So, I really hope they find a way to pull this together, because that'd be sad to end it off like that.
It would be.
It's finally getting attention now that it's canceled.
I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody put it, I mean, we are getting an adaptation of Red Dragon before, like, this show goes out. And so maybe that's the perfect place to, like, end it. I don't know.
I think the perfect place is where Brian Fuller planned to end it.
Yeah, I think so.
So.
I'm just trying to
not be so depressed.
Yes.
Let's see, this coming up week, next week, on Thursday, Rectify is coming back. You guys haven't checked that show out, but, if anybody's interested, you can watch the first 2 seasons of that on, Netflix. And then that Sunday, because we're probably not going to be doing a regular podcast, next week, because of Comic-Con and everything, because I'm heading out, on Saturday. But, on Sunday, Masters of Sex comes back, as well as The Strain, which you were excited about The Strain, Will, but you had not seen the first season. It was something completely new to you. Have you checked it out yet?
I have not. I haven't gotten around to it yet. So that's on my list. Right now, I really want to focus on getting through S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. Because I had been putting that off for so long, and I'm like, I've seen everything else in the MCU. I need to finish this and take in the entire MCU in its entirety.
Yeah.
So I think after I finish S.H.I.E.L.D., I'll probably get around to The Strain. If I get, like, distracted with something else.
There's, so second season for that starting off. It's pretty apocalyptic. It's interesting. I'm excited to see that back. I imagine they'll probably screen the first episode at Comic-Con because it's airing during Comic-Con. So why not? Then after that, the next following week, Friday, July 17th, which our next podcast will probably go up around when this happens. Not only is Ant-Man coming out then, but, we also have, 2 Netflix shows debuting on the same day. The Wet Hot American Summer, which is, the TV, I believe it's a prequel, oddly enough, to this, cult movie, that I am going to check out right before that show airs, just because I've heard such good things about it, and I want to make sure I watch it before, the show hits Netflix to see if I'm interested in the show. And, BoJack Horseman comes back for its second season, which was kind of a surprise hit on, Netflix. Fits in with the kind of the animated stuff you'd see on, I guess, Adult Swim or Fox or, the kind of, racier animated stuff that's kind of becoming commonplace today.
Right.
And that's kind of what we got coming up for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, there isn't a lot of news. There's mostly a lot of speculation going on because we're at this, pre-Comic-Con time point. So, look forward to Comic-Con. There's going to be a lot of stuff there. I think I'm most excited about, seeing what's going to go on with Game of Thrones. And they never actually show footage for Game of Thrones because they usually start filming after Comic-Con. But they do their, like, cast reel where they show, like, who they cast and, the major roles and stuff. So I think that's what I'm most excited for, this year at Comic-Con. What about you guys?
Anything related to the Arrowverse or X-Men Apocalypse is probably what I'm most excited for.
I would say so. I'm excited, for anything related to those things, as well as, what DC's gonna have for, like, their movies. They're probably gonna talk a lot about their films. We'll probably even see, like, another bombshell, like when they went to Comic-Con and they announced Batman vs. Superman was, like, a thing that exists. They might drop another bomb like that. I don't know, like, too much on the TV
Another
side.
15 characters for that movie.
Oh, yeah. That's even more crowded than Captain America Civil War. So
yeah, but not half as crowded as Gotham.
Which movie are you talking about?
What was that?
Which movie are you talking about that has 15 characters?
Oh, I was saying Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, Batman v Superman. I know, right?
15 more. Yeah. They'll just say, we're gonna announce some new characters, so they're like, I don't know, they'll like pull out like a huge stack of comic books from DC, and they'll just start like naming random characters. This guy, and this guy. And this guy.
How much do you want to bet that season 2 of Gotham will have 10-year-old Bruce Wayne go out and fight crime?
And then he'll probably start to discover the Batsuit. I mean, the finale had him discover his father's Batcave.
Well, Will, what are you looking forward to at Comic-Con?
Like I said, definitely looking to hear more about the Arrowverse, especially the new show.
Legends of Tomorrow!
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow! I don't know if I'm excited for, like you said, for the Game of Thrones casting announcements. I don't know if I get excited for those, though, because that's, like, kind of spoilers for, like, the next season, and I don't like spoilers. I mean, they announce, like, these new characters, and then, like, people write up, like, I'm kind of terrified of that, because that means I'm going to have to write that up for the website, and that means they're going to explain who these characters are, and I'm going to be like, I didn't get to that, I didn't read the books, I didn't get to that part. Stop explaining this to me, I don't want to know.
Well, they don't announce it like, this character is the one that kills Tyrion.
Well, they better not. Yeah, right? Jesus. But definitely any Game of Thrones news is welcome. I'm actually looking forward to, there's probably going to be news about Brian Fuller's new American Gods show as well.
Yeah.
I'm expecting...
Brian Fuller's, the Hannibal panel is there's still a Hannibal panel apparently, and that's gonna happen right before, the party.
Oh, really? So there is a Hannibal panel. That's interesting. Okay, I'm really looking forward to that, because there's definitely gonna be, like, a lot of questions about not only the rest of the season, but the cancellation. He may even, like, be able to give up some details of, like, where he was planning to go with this.
Yeah.
That could be cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Looks like we lost Kat.
It does.
Completely. Yeah, I was trying to call her back and it's just gone now.
Bye,
so that's a good point to kind of end off the podcast, I guess.
Yeah. I think so.
I'll see if there's anything salvageable. It was kind of a weird podcast, with the audio quality cut-ins and stuff. But, yeah, if there's enough to salvage, then you'll be listening to this podcast, hopefully. So, thank you everybody for listening, if this was salvaged. I am your host. I'm the editor-in-chief of TV Enthusiast. My name is Tyson Gifford. Joining me today, was Kat, who unfortunately got dropped due to internet issues, and, Will, who is our news director at TV Enthusiast. We hope that you guys can check out some of our coverage, for Comic-Con and see what's kind of going on there. Hopefully I'll be able to, organize something for the site based on, my attendance of the NBC party coming up. That's pretty much it. So thank you everybody for listening. Bye.
Bye.
If you would like to voice your opinion, send an email to theweeklyset@tventhusiast.com. TV Enthusiast is a part of the Enthusiast Media Network. Stay tuned to TV Enthusiast and the Weekly Set podcast for more coverage